What's good, everyone? I'm Venomous Stare. This is Neeb versus Nerchio, Game 2. This is a best of 5 between these two legends. Both of these players are foreigners. Nerchio is in the top left of Whirlwind. He is currently up 1-0. And he hails from Poland. He is very good at online tournaments. He has won probably the most online cups in StarCraft 2 history. It's almost a meme at this point how many go for SC2 cups Nerchio has won. His opponent is Neeb, the American Protoss, a guy who used to play Terran and actually went to Korea and won a tournament called Kespa Cup. And it is extremely rare for a foreigner to be able to go to Korea and win a major tournament. So Neeb is very highly regarded in many respects. He's going to go Gateway Expand and start to scout with this probe. Nerchio has gone for Hatchery first, the bread and butter of Zerg. Of course, he has gotten a gas right after that and a spawning pool. This will allow him to research Zergling speed very quickly as soon as this pool finishes. And if he keeps mining gas, he'll be able to research other things like burrow or overlord speed, or even get a quick lair if he wants. Some Zergs will actually pull off of gas after they accumulate 100 to really maximize mineral income so they can pump drones like a madman. Adept is being chronoed, Warp Gate is being started for Neeb. Neeb's expansion is just about to finish. Nerchio's overlords have pretty much figured out that they're going to the wrong spots and have changed their course. Stargate on the way for Neeb. This is a solid choice because if you open with the Oracle, you force Zerg to make spores, and if they forget to make spores or don't scout your Stargate, then you can do a lot of drone damage. But you can also open Phoenix, which are incredibly good because they are also a threat to drones once you get 4 of them. Are also a threat to queens. 4 is kind of the money number you want to go for with Phoenix. That's the amount of Phoenix it takes to one lift a queen and kill it. So the Stargate is going to finish. If I had to guess, an Oracle's probably going to be the choice to open things up, and then we'll see what he does from there. There's the Oracle. It's going to be chronoed. So the Oracle is so strong because, like I said, it can really do severe damage to drones. But more importantly, it can do other things like Revelation. It can scout consistently. It can even put stasis wards down, although that is significantly less used. Burrow is about to complete here for Nerchio. And this is very interesting because oftentimes whenever you see Burrow used, it's used in harassment-based strategies. Neeb's Oracle is going to fly across the map here, and 2 of his Adepts are going to get caught out here, so Neeb is going to lose a little bit of his pressure force, a little bit of his scouting ability. So this makes this Oracle even more important. Robo in the wall in here to accompany these 2 gates. Spore Crawlers are finished at the natural and the main, and there are no drones over here, and that drone gets made into a spore. A Ling is burrowed out here for Nerchio, so great play by Nerchio. This of course means whenever Neeb goes to make his 3rd, he's not going to be able to because you can't make structures on burrowed units. So boom, Neeb realizes, what the hell, what's going on? Oh, there's something burrowed there, I need detection. So let's look at this Robo. Is it going to make an OBS? Even if he chronos it, he would have to wait. The Phoenix is coming back. The Oracle is probably just going to cast its Revelation ability. And boom, there it is. The 3rd base starts. So Nerchio researched that burrow early, but then delayed the 3rd. This Phoenix is going to start to clean up Overlords. This is what Phoenix were made to do, is hunt Overlords. But that Ling that was burrowed there was very important because it showed Nerchio right when the 3rd was taken. +1 melee on the way for Nerchio. Overlord speed on the way for Nerchio, and lots of Lings. Nerchio has control of this tower. He might try to crack this 3rd here Neeb doesn't have cannons set up. He's just now getting a gateway set up. He has a couple pylons for overcharge, but a queen taxi is out here for Nerchio, and the oracle's going to poke in, but with spores it's not really going to be able to do anything. So basically what this queen taxi is a drop overlord full of queens. Queens are extraordinarily slow off creep, so it's an aggressive way to transport some nice little anti-air to your aggressive pushes, especially early on in the early mid-game when you don't have hydras. Resonating Glaives is over halfway done. A Warp Prism is on the way for Neeb, and now an Immortal is on the way. And here we see a little Baneling attack as a bunch of gateways are finishing in the main, but the Banes are going to aggress onto the natural, and Neeb force fields there. He hits this force field. Okay, that's fine, but look over at the third. Here's where the real action is going to take place. Queen Taxi dropping down, and they're going to focus onto the pylons here. And Neeb is suddenly caught in this very bizarre situation. Warp Prism flying across the map is going to try to get stuff done, but it's not really going to be able to do anything because of the creep spread in the main. Queens are going to be eviscerated here because the Dropper Lord was full of lings, and if this pylon dies it could be bad. But this Dropper Lord wasn't really doing what it should have been doing. It kind of flew into the main half-heartedly, and then all the queens died. And we just saw some Banelings die there, but a lot of Adepts lived. And suddenly, even though Nerchio was doing some pretty damn good damage, he's behind in supply. He committed a lot to that. He actually made so many lings where he's kind of behind in workers. And if you don't play Zerg, as we see a Stasis Ward go off there and trap a bunch of lings, you don't really understand that if you make a lot of lings in the early game, you sacrifice a lot of drones. So right now, as it stands, Nerchio is trying to even up the worker count, and boom, we see in the 40s is Neeb, and Nerchio actually burrowed some lings. So great move here by Nerchio to try to make Neeb multitask. This is something that many foreign pro gamers, especially Protoss pro gamers, can really get thrown off by, is the burrow harassment, because plain and simple, not a whole lot of people do it. And more probes going down here for Neeb. Over a dozen have died. But all Neeb really has to do is make multiple observers and maybe even a cannon if it really bothers him. And he will be able to clean this up, because Nerchio is committing a lot to this. Look, he has some drones out here, but he doesn't have a whole lot of tech. He just pretty much has +2. He doesn't even have Bane's speed, which is really bad, because slow Banelings are awful. All it takes is a couple sentries to nullify them. A Baneling drop is going to occur, but with only 2 Banelings, the amount of damage you can do is kind of limited. Third base has been reestablished here for Neeb, and Neeb has so many Adepts. This is going to be excellent against what Nerchio has, because Zerglings are light units, and Adepts shred through light units. Without Baneling speed, which is just now being started, there's no way in hell that Nerchio is going to be able to deal with this. Adepts absolutely hard counter Lings. This is even more true when the Lings don't have defense upgrades and the Adepts have Resonating Glaives. At this point, Nerchio needs a ton of speed Banelings or a ton of Roaches, because he committed so much to that early attack, he just does not have enough economy. And we can see he's trying to harass here, but a big attack is going to occur here at the third. Lots of Adepts. Nerchio's Baneling speed is halfway done, and this is going to be an extremely interesting engagement as we see Banelings are coming out here, but tons of Adept Shades coming out forward, but it doesn't really matter as the Bane Rain coming down is an extremely disappointing drizzle, and 16 drones are dying. Nerchio needed so many more Banelings. At this point, Adepts are everywhere. They're ravaging the third base. Neeb doesn't even have Forge upgrades, but it doesn't matter. The lair is going to fall, and it's going to be very difficult for Nerchio to hold, because whenever you do Ling-based defenses and your opponent starts to sit on top of your production, holding can be nearly impossible. And the Immortal is going to pack a hell of a punch against these queens. Adepts, of course, slaughter Zerglings. Roaches are being produced as well as a few Banes, but Nerchio made a lot of Lings in the early game. He didn't really deal a ton of damage. He didn't manage to kill the third, but Neeb had a filthy counterattack with all these Adepts, and this Immortal has a ton of kills. It packs an absolute wallop versus these Queens, and Adept Phase Shades cancelled. The third base is going to be aggressed upon. Neeb is mining. He's doing very well, and he's losing. Not really. Nerchio's losing his third base. Neeb is playing very well. He's losing the best of 5 at the moment, but it's about to be tied. I was waiting for Nerchio to GG with bated breath, but Nerchio has slow Queens out here off of creep, and he's going to get surrounded by Adepts. Lots of Corrosive Bile might fall, and a lot of damage goes down, but it won't matter. It looks like Neeb's going to tie up this best of 5. You really have to subscribe to my channel right here and click the bell notification icon, because as Nerchio GGs and the series ties up 1-1, you cannot miss subsequent games. Make sure you leave a like rating, a shout out to Shaft and the Polygon guys.